Welcome back to my full day of eating, getting shredded. It's 5 a.m. right now. I'm going to walk you guys through my entire day, everything I eat, the entire day to get shredded. I'm on 2,600 calories today. All my breakfasts are the same. I do the same thing. I wake up at 5 a.m. and I have the same meal every single day, except for the days that I don't lift. So today is leg day. So I obviously got to get some carbs. I got to get some protein. This is the perfect meal to start out my day. I do a protein shake. I got some birthday cake isolate. So I do 2 scoops of that, which is 50 grams of protein. I'll do my secret sauce, which is sugar-free maple syrup. I'll throw like a tablespoon of that in there. It's only 5 calories. And then this is the real kicker. It's instant coffee. So it's almost like a coffee cake kind of. It tastes like an actual milkshake. I'm not kidding with you. So that is step 1 of my breakfast. So my neighbors love me, especially when I'm turning on the blender at 5 a.m. But it is how it is, right? When you live this lifestyle, they should have known I was moving into this apartment. Part 2 would be mashed potatoes. So instant mashed potatoes. I'm not gonna wake up just to boil potatoes and then or microwave them or do any of that shit. This is literally 2 seconds. Watch this. So I'll do about a cup of that, and then what you do is you get the hot water heater. All right, you get like a kettle. Usually this is for making coffee, but you just want to throw that in. Most people think you have to use the stove. You do not. A bunch of salt. Sometimes I do garlic, but I don't want my breath to stink at the gym. Actually, I gotta brush my teeth anyway, so might as well do garlic. So this makes it taste way better. Garlic, salt, and pepper. You know, you'll be the dude that smells like garlic at the gym. And yeah, I'm used to it. Mix that up. 58 grams of protein, because there's protein in the potatoes, and then there's about 70 grams of carbs. So this is a good breakfast, right? Listen to this. All right, that's meal number 1. Oh, you guys can't even see the potatoes. This is meal number 1, all right? We got 50 grams of carbs, or no, 70 grams of carbs, 50 grams of protein. I'm gonna go to the gym in about an hour and a half, right? It's 5 a.m. right now. I usually go at around 6:30, maybe 6. It depends on how I'm feeling, you know, especially on a leg day. I really gotta digest my food, make sure I got the energy and I'm set to go for the gym. Pre-workout, I'm out of pre-workout right now, so this will be my pre-workout. I have a bucked up plum and grind. I don't know what flavor that is, but I'm out of, pre-workout, so that's what I got. I'll have some creatine, and that's all I need for a pre-workout. Pre-workout is mainly meal. It's mainly food. I don't see it as in like, oh yeah, you can get a really good pump from some of the pre-workouts there. But do I really care? No, it's leg day. My mindset is focused on fucking Bulgarian split squats in the Smith machine. If you guys aren't doing those, oh my gosh, you need to do them. All right, but this is a food video. I'm gonna drop to my next meal, which usually I come back, I'll have like maybe a protein shake again, or like a protein bar or something, pick it up at the gas station, and then just like some 0-calorie soda, just to like prolong my eating window. Everybody thinks that you have to eat right after the gym. It's not necessarily true. You can go like 1-2 hours after the gym, and it's really not gonna make a fucking difference, all right? Just being honest, it's not gonna make a fucking difference, right? It's so negligible, you eating right after the gym or you having a protein shake at the gym doesn't really fucking do much. Sometimes I'll work out at 6 a.m. and not eat until like 11 a.m., right? How many hours in that? That would be like, 3-4 hours. So, that's the thing, is it doesn't matter as much as you think it does, but I usually will have some beef. I try to have like 1-2 pounds of meat per day. That usually hits my protein goal. Along with the protein shake, I can be a little bit more lenient. So like 1.5, like I think like this, a pound of beef or chicken or any meat is going to be about 100 grams of protein. So, plus a protein shake, that's, if I'm 200 pounds, I'd want about 200 grams of protein, maybe a little bit over that. So about 1.5 pounds of meat. So ground beef, chicken, I'll show you guys in my fridge later. I usually have steamed vegetables. I might try to go to the grocery store today. So yeah, that's the morning breakfast. All right, so a big thing that I have an issue with, and I know, a lot of people have issues with, is going on their phone while they eat. I think 90% of people go on their phones while they eat, and especially when I'm up at 5 a.m. It's like, why do I even get up at 5 a.m.? I don't need to, right? It's not like a necessity for me to do this. I should get more work done because nobody's up right now. If I were to just start scrolling on my phone, I know myself. I've done this before. This is from experience. I know I'm just going to waste my entire fucking morning. So my thought process is, if you guys are going to wake up early, how big of a piece of shit would you have to be to, be scrolling on your phone? So I'm trying to go off my phone for as long as possible, journal while I eat this meal. I'm going to hop on the treadmill right over there, and then I'm going to work and upload yesterday's video while I walk on the treadmill and digest the food. You guys know Stan Efferding, all right? His philosophy is just going on like 5-10 minute walks after you eat your food. It helps digest things better. And ever since I heard him say that, I've been doing it, and I just, I'm just a better man, to be honest with you guys. I just feel better. I look better. My food digests better. I feel better. Everything's better going on a walk after you eat food. Less cravings, all that stuff. So, less phone in the morning, more work, more steps. I was going to say something else, but I forget. I just want to give my philosophy on like eating food and stuff, and everything revolved around it. If you attach your phone, something I've noticed is, if you attach your phone to your food, right? If you're eating while watching a video, you associate dopamine, because I don't go on social media, I don't do any of that stuff. But I made this association with food, that every time I would eat food, I would watch YouTube. And YouTube was my escape, right? It's my only time to like disconnect and like watch a video that like is non-educational. And what I realized is like I started just craving food. Like I would just want to eat and eat and eat, because that phone with the dopamine of watching YouTube was attached to my food. All right? And I had to disconnect him, because that made me just want to eat more food and binge eat, because I knew if I eat more food, I would get to watch YouTube more. And then I, went down that path of like, it's just, you guys get my point, but a lot of people can associate food with, things that give them dopamine, not just the food, right? If it's, every time you go out to this fast food restaurant, you get to see your friends. And so you go out to the fast food restaurant a lot because that's the only time you get to see your friends and really disconnect. You get a big hit of dopamine, and you know what happens? You keep going to that fast food spot with your friends, and now you guys are all fat, and you can't stop, and you go there so much more often than you should, just because it's not necessarily the food that's so good, right? Everybody knows fast food isn't that good, but it's the simplicity, and it's, for that person, it's them, associating the dopamine with having food and seeing their friends. That should make sense to you guys, but I'm going to journal. I'm going to hop on the treadmill. Remember to get your steps afterwards. And yeah. Meal number 2. We got about 10 ounces of ground beef. This is 85-15.
And just a tip for you guys on ground beef, because you know it's not typically a cutting thing. They say, oh, beef when you're bulking, chicken when you're cutting. But you don't realize you can drain off the fat, all right? The only thing in beef that makes it so high calories and not, you know, necessarily good for cutting is just the fat content. So if you're getting 80-20 beef and not draining the fat off, yes, it's not gonna be a very useful, you know, resource for your cut. Versus if you take that 80-20 ground beef, tilt the pan a little bit, and just spoon off the fat. Each spoonful that you can take out of that ground beef that you cooked, you know, there's 100 calories right there, and then you're going into a deficit, and then it's like as much as chicken, right? And it tastes way better in my opinion, and it's something to switch things up, especially when you pair it with egg whites. It's like the protein content is so high. This is probably, you know, I didn't measure because I don't have my food scale. I just ordered one yesterday. I don't know where my old one is, but ordered one yesterday, so I'm gonna start weighing stuff out. But about 10 ounces of ground beef, and then I'd say like 100 gram or 200 grams, maybe 300 grams of egg whites. Then I got some spicy brown mustard, and so this is just, you know, it's 5 calories, you know, pretty negligible. Same with the salsa. They're just a resource if I need them. But main point is, you know, drain off the fat in your ground beef, and you won't have a problem. People don't, like, they'll get the 80-20 ground beef and just, yeah, it tastes better with the fat, but if you're on a cut, drain that shit off. You don't need it. It won't taste that much worse, especially if you put a bunch of seasoning on it. So I'll pop up the macros maybe. I haven't even entered them into my phone, but yeah, I'm at probably close to, I'd say 1,300 calories at 9 a.m., which obviously I've been up since 4:55 or 4:50. So anyways, I'm gonna get to eating this. I don't know what my next meal is gonna be. Probably gonna be around 1 p.m., 2 p.m., somewhere around there, and it'll probably be some more meat and some vegetables. Pretty much it. Also, one thing that, you know, really hardcore guys do, which I'm not doing yet, but you can take your ground beef, put it in a strainer, and run hot water over it. It's gonna not taste very good at all, you know, but if it can take off, you know, a couple hundred calories, there you go. And so if you're buying, obviously 80-20 is cheaper, but if you spoon it off, it's so hard to measure how much you're actually taking off. You gotta measure it before, you gotta measure it after, you gotta measure the fat, you gotta do a bunch of stuff. It's not worth it to me. So I just calculated at the 8, so this is obviously has less fat than 85-15, but I'm still putting it into MyFitnessPal as 85-15. You know why? It's because regardless, I'm gonna be in a deficit. I'm just putting myself more in a deficit. So do yourself a favor, don't try to calculate it yourself, because in reality, you're probably only gonna take out max like half of the fat. So if you had 80-20, you might get it to 90-10. And so just keep that in mind. You know, it's better to, you know, overestimate your calories rather than underestimate yourself, because you're just screwing yourself over in that case. It's 3 p.m. right now. I got a bowl of steamed vegetables. All right, we got mixed vegetables. This is 200 calories. I'm at 1,795 calories. I have 805 calories left. So things that I didn't film me eating, I went to the gas station, picked up some Sprites. So I got 2 of these. And then who the hell upped the price on protein bars? It was $4 per protein bar. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even check the price. And then I go up there, and it's $8 that I spent on protein bars. I built salted caramel bar, and then I had like a Quest bar, and so that was about, you know, 300 calories right there. So anyways, I'm at 800, or I have 800 calories left. I'm probably gonna have some rice and some chicken for dinner, maybe beef or chicken. I haven't decided yet. Some carbs and some protein to finish off. So let me check what I'm at nutrients wise. So I'm at 180 grams of protein and 162 grams of carbs. So fats, 58. So maybe we will chill on the ground beef. We'll see. final meal, we got some more potatoes and a plate of broccoli. So literally just carbs. And I had a protein shake, so I'm not gonna have any meat. I'm gonna end the day off like this. It is 5:13 right now, so that's the full day of eating. I believe that would be, if I'm not mistaken, that's gonna be about 60 to 80 calories. That would be about 240. So that's right at 2,600 calories, around there. So I'm not gonna do the math right now, but that's it. Peace.